If you watched the end of Monday's video, you know that I'm talking about Etsy on this edition of Coffee and Trains, and that's because so many of you have asked me about it. So today I'm going to go over some of the reasons why I really prefer Etsy for selling my 3D printed buildings on Coffee and Trains. Welcome everybody to another edition of Coffee and Trains. Before we begin, I am drinking Community's coffee and chicory, and as always I take it black with 2 sugars. So today, yes, it is very, very different than what I do in the past Coffee and Trains, and it's really because I'm talking about something that isn't directly involved with model railroading, but it's something that a lot of you have asked me about. I know a lot of you do scratch building or you do design custom things that you may want to sell, and I want to talk a little bit about my experience on Etsy and why I think it's something that you should consider. This is not a sponsored message. This is nothing. This is my real and raw take on Etsy, and let's go ahead and get started. I can really break Etsy down into 3 reasons that I like and continue to use it. That is the customization of your listings, the fee structure, and the ease of shipping. So we'll go ahead and start off with the customization of listings, because this is probably something that if you're looking to get into Etsy, you're probably most interested in, other than the fee structures. So the customization of listings for Etsy is really designed for those boutique crafts that you're making. It's not designed for a mass-produced product. It's really designed to be able to say what it's made of, say what you're doing, and really it also allows you to customize how much time it takes to make each product, so that you can say to the people that are going to buy it, it's going to take this long, and it allows you to put that in your listing. So if you're making a custom painting or you're printing out something that you have to do something special to get printed out, you can say that, hey, this is going to take me a couple weeks, and you put that in your listing. You can also list what materials you are using. You can list all sorts of different things. It has special suggestions for what pictures to put where when you're putting the pictures on your listings. It has several categories for what you can put into subcategories in terms of, for instance, for mine with models, I can put it into a dioramas category, I can put it into a miniatures category. I can do a lot of different things like that that other services like eBay aren't going to offer, and that's really going to make it easier for your customers to find you. Etsy also does a certain amount of advertising for you without you paying anything. I'll actually get notifications and it'll tell me, it's like, hey, you just made a sale from offsite ads. So Etsy's doing that for you. They don't do a lot for you for free, but they do some for you, and they allow you to pay for additional advertising where you just literally hand them some money and they advertise your stuff for you. They also give you lots of tips and tricks on how to make your listings better, photography tips and tricks, things like that. It's really designed for the boutique craftsperson, and it's really easy to use if you're looking to sell just a small amount of custom items, and that's one thing I really, really like about Etsy. The second thing that I really like about Etsy is the fee structure and the fact that it is very easy to understand, and it is customizable to where you can make it to where you don't actually see any of the fees coming out of your bank account. It really just comes out of your profits before they actually send the money to you. And what I mean by that is that listings cost 20 cents per listing. So, and the way that works is if you put up a listing, they're going to charge you 20 cents. And it's going to be, after 4 months, it's going to renew for 20 cents. Now, your first listing typically is free, but every time that you put a listing up, it's 20 cents. And if you sell that listing and you have multiple, like you have an amount of, like, let's say you have 5 of them available, when it auto renews that, it's going to charge you 20 cents. And it's going to take that straight out of your profits. And you're not actually going to see that coming out of your bank account, which is something that I really, really like. In terms of other things for their fee structure, a lot of states, they already charge the sales tax for, so you don't have to worry about paying the sales tax. There's still a few of them that you have to do and you have to pay attention to. But most of them, Etsy has the sales tax built into the fees that they pull out of there. They also pre-calculate your shipping for you in terms of how much people are going to need to pay shipping, depending on what settings. All you have to do is put in the weight of the items, and it'll give you a rough amount of what you should pay for shipping, and then you set that as your amount. It also allows you to customize when you get paid out. So you can get paid out as soon as you sell something, to once a week, once a month, once every 2 weeks. You can customize your payouts that way. For instance, mine are set to once a week, so every Monday afternoon I get a notification that my funds are on the way. And this also gives me a little bit of motivation to make sure that all of my products, no matter what, are shipped out before that date, so that the shipping costs are taken out of my profits rather than being pulled from my bank account when Etsy charges their fees for anything that is in the negative balance. So Etsy's fee structure is very easy to understand, and it's a lot better than, in my opinion, what eBay does, which is where they just charge you 10% at the end of the month. And I always got really annoyed when I would occasionally sell things on eBay. It's like, hey, oh yeah, you sold all that stuff, and oh yeah, you owe us 10% of that. So Etsy is different like that. The fees are very upfront. You get to see all the transactions right there. So the fee structure of Etsy is slightly more complicated than eBay, but it's also easier to understand. You're going to see less actual pulls from your bank account. The third thing that I really love about Etsy, and this is really going to only apply to stateside sellers. If you're selling somewhere else, there's probably something else, but in the States, Etsy uses the U.S. Postal Service for their shipping, which means that it's very easy to find a place to drop off and ship stuff. And it also means that you get access to the Pitney Bowes pricing, which is the business pricing for shipping, which is always really nice to be able to lower your shipping costs. And it makes everything a lot easier to be able to ship internationally. I have shipped to, let's see here, Canada, Australia, France, Spain, Belgium, the UK, and a couple other countries around there. And it has always been such a breeze to be able to ship because of Etsy's setup and being able to figure out the address. There's also where you just mail it with its specific label to an international processing center, which for me is up in New Jersey, and they handle all of the international stuff. And it also tells you roughly what you should charge, and it helps you out with tariffs. Very, very easy to be able to put what is on there to declare for customs, and very, very simple and easy. And it makes international shipping very, very easy, because I know for a fact that when I lived in a foreign country, international shipping back home was a bit of a challenge. And also before using Etsy, that international shipping was a bit intimidating for me. But the international shipping, Etsy makes extremely easy, and domestic shipping is even easier. So all of this makes it really easy to ship with Etsy, which is something that just takes a lot of hassle out of doing online sales. So shipping is the third thing that I really love about Etsy. All right, let's talk about some of the coffees that you guys are drinking. Let's see here. Benjamin's Trains. He says that he's drinking Folgers coffee with a little bit of French vanilla creamer. That used to be my standard go-to right there. Let's see here. Saya Art says, I take cream and sugar and just use instant coffee. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Let's see here. CP Branchline. I don't drink coffee, so a dark hot chocolate with a little milk for me. Hey, that's always good. Who doesn't love hot chocolate? That stuff's amazing. Edward Audit says that he drinks medium roast Dunkin' Donuts and sometimes Maxwell House, and he likes it with milk and no sugar. He says his wife tells him he's sweet enough. Oh, that's really sweet, guys. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to tell me what coffees you're drinking in the description below. It adds to my list of ones to be able to drink. And I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons. They're listed right here. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month. Until next time, I'm Jimmy from the DIY and Digital. Stay safe, be kind, drink some coffee, and happy railroading.